no pattern. Robi se kado na checha, otokenga no stepi no pattern. Date puti konti fino wali, nando muti ni pe ashodali. Apa wakwata patelele, iyo nefame pukelele. Dereu, 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 dati kwa dereu. Dereu, 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 dati kwa dereu. Date puti tatulu. Itatulu. Date puti tatulu. Omande kugoku silo kume. Agatemo blilo kume. Kugokwata shilongo kume. Santoka ya nagolo kume. Dotu fluda deko. Yemwe nonkwambi wachipara chana kweli undapanelwa mongunda uya kuiwa noterera nogateta nogateta kwa ktebi ukepwi hayasho laketo na kali chibwibwile so topindo tamani ongita totun oshkopindo shaman Tisere tainika Wakasperi tagapi Watanera marume Tata putito dun Tata putito dun Ita dun
For the love of local music on Informante Radio, Tate Booty, King TD, and Mr. Gazlami Todolo. You know we love this one here, or at least I do.
You played the song yesterday morning again.
I did not play the song yesterday.
Hey, shut up.
What are you listening to, Ano? Like which music are you? Are we in the same studio?
Let us behave because we have a guest in the studio. Okay. Can you leave your hero menace in Okahanya?
I did say.
Can we just keep it there?
Yeah. All right. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the morning mix on Informante Radio. As you can see, like Neville alluded to just now, we have a very special guest joining us in the studio this morning, Mr. Edward Walugembe. He's the managing director of Vivo Energy Namibia. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the morning mix.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, listeners and our viewers this morning. I'm really pleased to be here, actually.
Yes, it's nice to have
you. Welcome, Edward.
We don't have many people visiting us anymore now during COVID-19.
So but it's actually safe here. I'm impressed coming in here. Yeah. And by the way, thank you for getting the pronunciation of my name correct.
Yeah.
A lot of people struggle with this name.
Is it?
Yes.
Walugembe.
Walugembe, yes.
And Edward, you are originally from Uganda.
I'm from Uganda, yes.
Do we say Uganda or Uganda?
Uganda.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the correct pronunciation. Yeah. Uganda. Okay.
I've heard a few when the president of Uganda, Mr. Museveni, when he goes speak in his vernacular, there are certain words that I can understand because it sounds just like Oshi Herero. So or Korea.
Yeah.
There was this one time he was talking about food.
Yes.
And he was like speaking in his
Yes.
vernacular, Hovi Korea.
Yes.
And I was like, wow.
I know that word.
Yeah, I know that word. So it's very clear that there was a time that we were together.
Yeah.
And we left. And you stayed there.
Really.
We came down.
True story. I mean, when I travel in some parts of Namibia,
Yes.
I see names that are very familiar. I know
Yeah.
there's a town called Okarara.
Yeah.
I don't know what Rara means, but where I come from, it means to sleep.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. It means
There
sleeping.
you go. That's it. That's it.
I should visit your country.
Yeah. Very,
I will feel right at home with
Yeah.
my Oshierero there.
welcome, always welcome.
Yeah.
All right, Neville, let's get to business.
Yeah, we're going to get straight into our discussion with Edward here. As we said a little bit earlier, we are joined here by Mr. Edward Walugembe from he's the managing director of Vivo Energy, and obviously, Edward, a lot has happened. I think in the last few months, none of us were ready for this. I mean, this hit us like an avalanche, and it has affected our way of life so many times, over and over again. So, but we do adapt, and I think there are certain things that we've basically learned in the last 2-3 months that might just become the new norm for all of us, especially the fuel industry. And I think you guys have also been there were some changes in your industry.
Yeah.
Edward, maybe I can just start by asking, almost all the companies have experienced reduced business activity during this lockdown. How has this impacted the sector in which you operate?
Thanks, Nevo. I mean, obviously, the energy sector, and when I talk energy here, I'm talking fuel business. But energy, as you know, involves power, involves other segments of energy as we know them.
Yeah.
We've had impact on 2 levels, I must say. The first one is on a global level. Globally, and very obvious, I think, to everyone, there's been a big drop in demand for our products, or the oil products as we call them. The drop in demand obviously coming from reduced travel, reduced manufacturing activity, reduced industry activity. I mean, if you look at the airline industry, for example, we all know that it's a big consumer of our products globally.
Yeah.
You can't believe there are 44,000 flights every day in the world. These are aircrafts going up and down airports. 44,000 on a single day. Now, this industry came to a complete halt. Yeah. So, which means the fuel that is consumed by these aircrafts, is all sitting in the tanks. So, clearly drop in demand on a global basis. But if you look at locally, we see the same trend. I mean, it's drop in demand because you all know we've been under lockdown, so everybody went back to their house, they parked their cars. So that's the initial and very clear impact, I mean, for me who sells fuel, I look at how much fuel is getting out of the tanks every day. So there was no demand, and that has a ripple effect, because we always look at demand as only the people who are coming to fuel. But they are the transport companies that transport this fuel.
Yes.
Yeah. These transport companies earn based on the liters they move. So if they don't move the liters, obviously there's a drop in income. There are people who work in this industry. There are people who are service providers. There are people who are in manufacturing, and they bring goods and services to the industry. So I think generally the immediate impact, which is obvious, was the drop in demand and the effects that come with the drop in demand, drop in incomes, drop in earnings for people.
Okay, and now what has been the response of the downstream oil industry in Namibia, particularly with ensuring the continuity of business and the movement of essential goods around the country?
Thanks. A very good question. I think before I talk about the response of the downstream industry, it's I need to give credit where it's due. We start with the national response. The response by the government of Namibia has been fantastic. You know, it's almost considered best in class in Africa. I'm sure you all know that.
Yeah.
And very simple things. The first thing is they acted quickly. Yeah, because in such epidemics, I'm not an epidemiologist, by the way, but I think...
Wow, that's a new word.
Wait.
Wait.
Hey, it's only new to you.
I want him to say that word slowly.
No, I'm saying I'm not an epidemiologist.
Yes.
It's just coming from... I think it's a medical term, yeah?
Your Damara tank can wrap itself around that.
My specialty and my business is selling fuel.
Yeah.
But the key action is to stop the spreading.
Yeah.
And that's why I must commend the Namibian government for taking a bold step to take the country under lockdown and full and total lockdown. So I think before we talk about response of the oil industry, the government under the stewardship of His Excellency the President and the task force, Dr. Shangula and his team, have done an excellent job to keep this country where it is today. So we must commend them. But if I go to your question in terms of the oil industry, and I'm not a spokesman again of the oil industry, but I'll speak a little bit on what we've done. The first thing, our business is one of the few businesses where you must have an advanced, business continuity plan.
Yes.
So our continuity plan exists even before COVID. Okay. We have a plan where, if there is a big fire somewhere, how do we respond? How do we continue to keep the fuel, the industry supplied? If there is a breakdown in infrastructure, logistics, the port is closed or whatever, how do we continue to supply? And I must say again, our continuity plan is a live document. I must say, we review this, we test it, and we make sure that it is live.
Yeah.
So in the oil industry, we actually were a bit lucky that in our industry we foresee, or we have got to pre-plan. You can imagine Namibia is a net importer of oil products and petroleum products. So we cannot wait for the month you will consume the product to import it. We actually plan 3, 4, 5 months in advance. As I sit here today, I know where the fuel molecule you are going to consume 3 months from today is. I exactly know where that product is. So that helped a bit because we already have a continuity plan that is live that we keep updating. But for the industry, we did some things that normally you would not see. One of the key things was we came together as fuel industry, and we sat down and developed an industry continuity plan which would ensure that this country maintains supply, this country continues to be supplied if things worsen on COVID, if the borders are closed like they were closed, if our neighbors restrict movement like it happened, if the port is not available, accessible, like it could have happened. So we had a continuity plan, and that's exactly why you see that we have continued to make, to have supply in this country at this time.
Excellent. Edward, I think, especially when this pandemic started, I think the whole community out there as Namibians, I think it basically amplified as to communities wants to see exactly in terms of corporate social responsibility. What are corporates doing in terms of safeguarding Namibians, in terms of assisting Namibians, whether it's what the banks are doing, everybody within the industry basically decided on what they wanted to do. So in terms of corporate community investment, since the start of this epidemic or this pandemic, what has Vivo Energy's role been? Is there something that you guys are busy doing at this moment in time?
Of course, yes. I mean, these are difficult times. I mean, they're difficult times. They're unprecedented, as we say. So we don't want to talk too much about what we've done, because this is not the right time. It's not a time of showing off. But I'm pleased to say, and I must say that we've tried to play our part in terms of corporate social responsibility. I'm sure all my colleagues in industry have done the same things, in the oil industry, I mean. But a few things stand out. Obviously, we are dealing in the oil industry, we are dealing in energy fuel. So we did support, as Vivo Energy, we did support the task force by way of providing some fuel to ensure that they can reach where they need to reach. We have a team of Namibian doctors, I think a small organization, but it is worth mentioning, that is called EMA, Emergency Medical Services or Ambulance Services. This is a team of local Namibian doctors who are doing an excellent job. No due praise to them, but I think they are doing a very good job quietly. We stepped up our support to this team. These guys go out and offer emergency services at no cost. So if accidents happen and the occupants in the vehicle don't have immediate help, there's a team of doctors who have started up this organization, and they're doing it voluntarily, so there is no pay for it. We support this organization, so we boosted our support there. And a few other things. I think the most humbling one that we have done is our support to the e-learning regime for Namibia. It's a new thing, like I'm saying, for all of us in the country and also in Namibia. So as Vivo Energy Namibia, we are supporting and working together with the Namibian National Teachers Union, NANTU I think it's called, and an NGO called Oblongata. We are supporting, the increase and growth in capacity for e-learning. Nevo, I'm sure you know how you can maneuver the phone and the computer and do so many things. But you can imagine it's been the first time for some communities to learn electronically, to learn remotely, to go onto Zoom. So we decided that we will support this initiative. At the moment, we have over 400 teachers that are receiving capacity enhancement on using and capability of communicating electronically, or virtually, like as we call it. We have over 10,000 learners that are going to benefit from this, and this is going on at the moment. Like I said, small things. We don't want to talk big. This is not the time for us to talk. We'll have a good time to talk about our products when things stabilize. But we've tried to do a part in terms of corporate social responsibility.
We don't appreciate such modesty here. I mean, we should get Trump to become the managing director of Vivo. And say, we've done a beautiful job. It's beautiful. It's amplified. It's the best that we do.
I mean, we talk what people want to hear.
No, true.
People want to hear sympathy. People are worried about their health. They're worried about their life. So I think we really follow what is the mood in the market. Those are the few things we're doing.
And speaking of people, of course, they are integral to your operations, like many other industries. I just want to know, perhaps, has this COVID-19, the pandemic and the lockdown, of course, the subsequent stages that we are still busy going through, has this given you like a glimpse into the future of the workplace and how adaptable, perhaps, as your organization?
Definitely. I mean, first of all, I must say, and allow me to speak for my team, I have a very strong team. The reason Vivo Energy remains strong in this country is because of the team that work with me at Vivo Energy. So clearly there was a strong focus, not only in Namibia, but for Vivo Energy as a group. There's a strong focus about safety of our people. And what you see, or the recommendations that have come up from the WHO, from the government on the SOPs, I think we decided that this is going to be our Bible. At Vivo Energy today, we say no mask, no entry. When I came in here this morning, I must commend you guys. I'm pleased. The lady there wanted to sanitize. My whole body, unfortunately, I'm pressed, but she insisted on sanitizing, temperature check, and my mask had to be on. So basically, we are doing the same thing at Vivo Energy. And when I say people at Vivo Energy, it's the staff that work directly for Vivo, but it's also our partners and our support staff at the retail stations that you see. It's to ensure, first of all, our people are safe. So there's a lot of social distancing. We've done rotational working, so we make sure we have a limited number of people in the facility to make sure that in case there is a problem, we are in control. And above all, we followed the regulations. We asked people to work from home. So if you look at the new normal, the virtual working is going to be part of us. We cannot run away from that.
What for Bradley Covey said? This is what Bradley Kuvisep is saying. Morning crew and our special guest. You know that someone means business when they speak like that. I'm not in the oil business, but I'm sure everything you spoke thus far is 100%, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Edward, lastly, what are your views? And I know we have been touching, on this briefly. But what are your views on the country's post COVID-19 recovery approach, and how do you see your sector, and particularly Vivo Energy, contributing to that going forward?
I mean, I think it's a very difficult question you ask, but very rich, of course.
Yeah.
First of all, post-COVID, what is post-COVID? And when is post-COVID?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the answer between all of us here probably is we don't know.
We don't know.
So we don't know when post-COVID will be. So in a situation when you don't know post-COVID, you of course obviously think, what will define post-COVID? Post-COVID will be defined by either a vaccine being discovered, and know the scientists are working hard to find a vaccine. So once the vaccine has been discovered, then and it's proved to be working, then we can clearly say we are in post-COVID, because you get a vaccine and you don't get COVID, and life goes on. The other one is if obviously before the vaccine they talk about the herd immunity, if that's the word, so where people get the disease and then eventually the bodies get used to this disease and it becomes a common flu or whatever it is. So we don't know, but these are the things that will define, post-COVID. Now, as you ask clearly, what is the approach to post-COVID? The approach, obviously, as I said initially, is to make sure that we don't rush into, thinking life is back to normal.
Exactly.
We have got to gradually get back.
Yeah.
And our role as the country, I mean, as players in the energy industry, is going to be shaped around the behaviors. There are certain things that have started today in this era that will continue to stay for a long time. I can tell you the disinfecting and the spraying of these hands as we get into supermarkets is going to sit with us.
It's going to sit
for a long time. Washing hands is going to be the common thing. You wash your hands as you come in, before you go out, and all that stuff.
I'm so tired. Guys, I'm tired.
So in the oil industry, we will definitely follow the same.
Yeah.
We will follow the same. We at Vivo Energy, obviously, even as we ease into and after the lockdown, have started on a very, I would say, customer-centric activity we are doing is to make our customers feel safe. Because people are going to start to mind about their safety. They're going to be conscious about the possibility of infection. They're going to be careful how they go and where they go. Yeah. So we are cleaning our stations today. I mean, this week we started what we call Operation Jumpstart. Yeah. We are cleaning and disinfecting all our sites. Yeah. And this is involving the staff of Vivo Energy. So we have not contracted an external party. And the practice is, it's the starting point, but it will continue. So customers we want to see how clean are you. And like I said, our support to this approach is to continue to practice, the SOPs as they've been communicated. So we'll continue to clean and keep clean. The other things that you underlook is things like, working from home has taught people a couple of things. People are learning that you actually see it's possible to sit at home and order and get your products at home. So the online ordering is going to be the thing, the in thing. Yeah, I know that we have online ordering platforms in Namibia, as in other parts of the world, Amazon and all that. But we're going to see more of this. So in the energy business and in Vivo Energy, we are preparing ourselves for this. We're starting to prepare ourselves for this.
I personally is not a great fan of that approach, Edward, because the struggle that I have currently is the fact that I don't know what excuse I can find now to tell my wife if I want to leave the house. So I can't go now to certain places that I used to go to because she keeps on saying that. But you can just order it.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to go anywhere now. So
I mean, we have something for you as well. So what we are saying is you don't need to come and walk into our shop.
Yeah,
We're going to put our shop online. So all you do is you place your order, you click, but you come to collect. So never you have something there to use. You will have to click online. We'll prepare your package. You just come through the site, and we drop this bag. Where you go after that is your business.
well, there are other things that service that you can't deliver, but we will not divulge that on air now.
Hello. Before I let you go, though, before we do let you go, there's just one thing that I wanted to ask quickly. The price of fuel in general has been dropping. It has been on a on a downward trajectory.
Yeah.
Should we expect to keep seeing this for the rest of the year?
I didn't want to talk about fuel and pricing today. I'm sure Neville will find another time to invite me to talk about that. But it's really it's a factor of demand and supply.
Yeah.
You know, the world, like I said, the world demand dropped by more than 50%. And yet supply continued.
Yes.
You know, and in a situation where you have more supply than demand, obviously the price goes down.
Yes.
I'm sure you heard at some point they say the oil price is negative. Yeah. So it's really a factor of demand and supply.
Okay.
We have seen that is changing. I'm sure you've seen that South Africa is rationing fuel and all that. It's because also because the demand dropped at some stage, you know, some of the manufacturers stopped manufacturing because they said we don't know where this thing is going.
Yes.
Now all of a sudden some economies are getting out of the lockdown and they're recovering faster than the production available. So that is also changing things. So the fuel price is very volatile, but it will really be a factor of demand and supply, and we'll continue to see these changes. I cannot predict whether it will continue to go down. It is starting to go up again. So like I say, we just need to observe and see.
All right.
Yeah.
Mr. Edward, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
I think it was quite insightful.
Yeah, it was.
I think at least from an industry perspective, now we at least have an idea of exactly what is happening in the fuel and energy industry. And once again, congratulations, and keep the good work going.
Thank you, guys. I'm really pleased to be here this morning. Very good environment in the studio. It feels good.
Thank you.
And we are open. We are open. If you want us to discuss, we'll come back. Thank you.
Everybody
Thank you so
just keeps on telling me nonsense here on air. You guys are wearing masks and I'm not wearing a mask.
Yes, why are you not wearing a mask?
Yeah, use your common sense. Use your common sense, okay?
Please, let's not go there. Mary has Riet's on the way to the studio right now.
So Edward, as you step out, we will have our queen.
Thank you.
Who will step into the studio. I will be, I'll be right back. I'll just be walking our guest out, and you guys can obviously continue with your discussion. Maria, you probably have a lot on your mind. I'm not taking part in this conversation.
Whoa. What happened? Were there things being shared that I don't know about?
No. I don't know, and I don't care.
He actually has the tea, but he's going to tell us.
Okay. Hi, morning, Mary. How's you?
Can't complain.
Guys, this is also not Honorable Swart Boy. I don't know.
I saw the comments.
I'm like, wait, did we announce that Mr. Bernardes was joining us this morning in the studio? No, we did not.
Yes, and we didn't. We said we'll try.
Yeah. We are still going to try and get him.
But I must say, our listeners, you are like a rowdy bunch.
Yeah.
You must behave when we have a guest.
They are holding us hostage. Like, this does not look like Honorable Sarko.
Talking about masks and common sense.
But it's good. Yeah, we appreciate you guys, spending every morning with us. What's on the agenda this morning?
Back to school, number one.
Oh, yes. By the way, I do need to commend our little souls. Their uniforms this morning. I saw some of them marching up the streets, heading to their schools, the seniors. It's a brave world out there.
Ooh, the cynical look like,
between the three. That's my ex. Sitting behind this.
Get out of here, man.
No, but it wasn't.
Oh, it's like
guys, So, guys.
Shucks.
You know what? You know what? So you and Laz, you guys.
Wait, do you have to say his name on air, Bagwet?
Ay, Mukuru. Ay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I wasn't saying.
No, but like when I was 17, it wasn't.
Yes, it was
But
him.
Laz is a nice guy. I
He's
like,
a very
he's
we've
such a cool
maintained
guy.
we've maintained a very very healthy and good
So,
friendship.
so did you guys greet each other?
Please make
Yeah, I
a
said I
disclaimer,
when I came in.
Neville. You have another friend that you always call Les.
It's
Okay.
not Lazarus Jacobs.
It's not Lazarus
No,
Jacobs.
As a belief.
This is a hot young
Ay,
version.
Mukuru.
Yeah.
Why you have to say hot and young?
He is
We did not ask your opinion here of whether the guy is hot.
Or old. Or
Yeah.
young.
Yeah, you know, it was a very 17. You know, it's high school, very brief. Nothing much happened, but
Half of your life ago.
yes, exactly. But we've always when we
Did
sit
he
there-
recognize you with your
Yeah,
mask?
he did. He
Oh.
did. It's very difficult
No.
not to
Oh, I
recognize
see.
all of this,
I just
with or without a mask.
now you see, you said it. If I would have said it on air, you would have accused me again of.
No, it's about myself.
So let me be quiet about it. Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, guys, het julle toe julle se dop gaan gekry gister.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. I wasn't gonna do those queuing things.
Seriously, ne?
Uh,
I quickly had to thanks Maria. I quickly had to rush to Ochivarongo yesterday afternoon, and when
where's that sound coming from?
Science,
man. Oh,
hey
nee,
man,
man.
come man,
You're making noise
Go.
away with your phone, man.
leave.
we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yeah. So yesterday afternoon when no, it's all right. It's all right.
We can hear your phone, bruh.
Yeah, we can hear your phone.
Yeah, no, but
Yes,
don't
but
stand
move
there.
away.
Because now we're
'Cause
hearing
we
you
hear
listening
you.
on the phone.
Yes.
Oh.
Vambu.
So I quickly went to I was in Ochivarongo yesterday afternoon,
Yes.
and as I turned back just around 4:30, I saw some of those queues, guys. That was wild geweest.
Why didn't you take pictures? That's what I wanted to see.
I knew you guys in Chines them. They were busy. Were doing something on our behalf. So
Yeah.
I was like, no, I know the guys would be doing something. So, but I think all over the country it was. And I saw some videos this morning of
The chaos everywhere.
drunk people.
There are people on leave today.
Yeah.
Who shall remain nameless
Yeah,
because they're in my newsroom.
No, those people are responsible alcoholics. I commend them. You
But-
put in leave.
But it quickly comes back to the discussion I was having. Are we really going to still sit here and say we don't have a problem? Who
Yes.
True.
leaves their office or workplace
At lunch.
at lunch 12 to go and queue at a bottle store? I mean, you could just say, let me wait for the weekend. But like, I
Yes.
mean, the fear of... Now, there's two elements of wait. It's the fear of waiting for the weekend. Either you're scared there's not going to be any stock by
Yes.
then, or you think that maybe there's going to be some abuse in between that the president is going to prohibit.
Yeah.
again.
Prohibit again. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now there's that madness, that rush madness, but you literally putting your life at risk because, like, how much social distancing can you really practice when queues are that long? And but when we talk about these things, it's like no, guys, we don't have a problem. We have.
I'll
problem is
wait
there.
for Friday. I mean, I'm not going to go in queue now.
I'm probably going to wait until next weekend.
I'm not in a rush.
Yes.
I don't really push.
Because next weekend soccer is coming back. For that, I cannot watch soccer without having
A beer.
a beer.
Oh, okay.
Even just one. Yeah.
Groot bier.
Ek is dan van Katutura. Wat?
$7.50.
Dink jy ons, hulle verkoop nie dampies in die Tura nie.
No, good question. Karatura is not a dumpy. It's not a dumpy market. It's a $7.50 market.
Hello, how many people am I going to share my dumpy with? We're normally sharing the beer.
But actually, the dumpies needs to come back now because of social distancing. We can't. You beer drinkers.
No, actually, I think you should. The appeal should be with NBL.
Exactly.
Stop making those 750s now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We are
start.
in COVID.
Yes,
Yes.
19
Stop.
time.
I agree. Stop making 750. Start making 1 liter. That's on some.
One time.
Ja.
One time.
Ek koop 2 liter ek is genoeg vir
We had this discussion the other day. Maria, I never knew that people can get so drunk out of drinking beer.
Of beer, yeah.
Well, there was an accident yesterday that, oh, coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
I'm not saying bless you.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh,
Hey,
like-
for a sec, man. Go cough there.
Oh, what is it now? Last that made you
I
sneeze.
said
Now.
there was an accident in the north yesterday. And,
Saw
it was a
that.
car that overturned, but around the car,
Saw that.
just beer, beer bottles, broken beer bottles. So obviously they suspect that the driver was drinking.
Yeah.
Like obviously.
It's beer is like any other alcohol.
like-
The
it's
more
like
you
any
consume,
other- yeah.
the more wasted you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like to downplay it. Oh, it's just
It's just beer.
how many
Yes.
percentage, but yeah, it's quite serious.
4.5 is
Yeah.
heavy.
Mate,
After
bro,
your third one, I'm
I
sure.
have also been knocked off my feet by just Buntuk Lager. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be here, sit here and say beer doesn't get you drunk. Beer will get you wasted.
Yeah.
But yeah, the alcohol is back. Somebody here is saying, legal alcohol is just not fun. There's no
Yeah,
thrill.
I saw social media saying
Legal
legal
alcohol
commercial
is not
alcohol
fun.
just doesn't slap.
Yeah.
Doesn't slap the,
The
same
same way.
way. People like to operate on the black market.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was saying today is back to school, very important.
Oh yes.
Videos are streaming in when I was seeing. It seems, and I'm happy to note that. But again, it's early in the morning. That the schools are very strict with their safety measures. So we see children. It seems all the schools have this hand sanitizing that works with a foot control. So they have to sanitize their hands, get the temperature checked, and then walk into the school. And obviously there's markings for the queuing, which is social distancing, and the school has had to separate like the bigger classrooms. Like I think. Like the school that Informante visited, Acacia in Commersdal, for example, they had to split the grade 11s and 12s into 4 classes each. 4
So
classrooms
each class gets 4 classrooms.
Each grade.
But
Grade 11,
yes.
4 classrooms.
But how many classrooms were there before?
Well, maybe 2, like A and B class, like that is
okay.
standard.
Okay.
So now it's grade 4 classrooms for grade 11, 4 classrooms for grade 12 to ensure social distancing is taking place. But now I have another question, because I know this is not the only school. I saw other news outlets like NBC, they also visited one of the schools, and they also said that they're separating
The students, yeah.
the learners into smaller classrooms. My thing is that clearly each grade is now taking up more classrooms to ensure social distancing. And I mean, we also interviewed Mrs. Jacobi at
Delta.
Delta.
Delta,
Yeah.
yes. And she also said they're going to be doing the same thing. Now, with kids coming in phases, I'm just wondering, there's not going to be, eventually there's not
going to be enough classrooms, yes.
classrooms.
Yeah.
Or even teachers, because
Yes.
I'm sure the teachers are helping out now.
Yes.
So my question is still, how are we going to mitigate this? I mean, it would be something else if you told me like high school will be going to school for the first half
Of the day.
Oh, yes. Okay, maybe they should go the after.
Yeah, afternoon
Other-
class. You remember that? That used to be a thing back in
Yes.
the day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Middagskool.
Yeah.
Yeah, middagschool. It would be something else if you were separating it from morning and afternoon classes
Yeah.
to ensure that, like social distance is happening and all the classrooms are separated. But how are you going to have all the students back eventually, because that is the plan?
Yeah.
How are you going to have all the learners back in school and still practicing social distance?
Maybe the thinking is by the time the learners are all back in school, we don't need to social distance anymore. Things are
I'm telling you now.
smoother.
And it's my prediction, and touch wood, I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But with this, like, this is our life, right?
Yes.
I think at some point, let's just stop waiting for that vaccine.
Yeah.
HIV/AIDS still doesn't have one years later.
I mean, even when
it's what Edward was saying now.
Yes.
It was the same. There's
So-
we can't think about post-COVID
yeah,
now.
this is
Embrace it.
the new reality.
Yes.
How we're mitigating, how we're moving, and really, very correctly so. I predict they're gonna be doing morning and afternoon class is gonna be standard in this country.
yeah.
It's gonna be just standard in every school, private and state school. So you're gonna have your slots, and your morning slot or your afternoon slot, and that's your day.
Yeah.
That means obviously they're going to have to start recruiting and employing more teachers, because you're going to have a teacher working from 8 to 6 or
No,
whatever.
definitely
it's just
not,
not going
yeah.
to work.
But
this is the
I mean,
reality.
it could be the beginning of a reform of our entire education system. I
yes,
mean, the
for
whole
the better.
online learning was the first step anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't necessarily succeed, but we have started with something.
Yeah.
And I don't see us going backwards.
I believe the challenge is still what needs to happen in the rural areas of our country.
Yes.
Yeah.
That still remains to be seen as to what the ministry's position will be and their action will be from here going forward.
And I was listening yesterday on my way home. I was listening to a debate, I think on the budget in Parliament, on radio. I'm not entirely certain who was speaking, but they were asking that question. It's like about 190 schools that don't have running water 30 years after independence.
Yeah.
That is not right. That means there are no toilets at those schools. It's not just taps. When you hear running water, you're just thinking about taps, but
Yeah.
in most cases there are no sanitation facilities.
Yeah, and it kind of takes me back. It's like, okay, I mean, our regular listeners know by now I was moving over the weekend, right? Now
Yeah.
I hate moving. I really just the chaos of having to get a truck and fix this and move into a new space and whatever. But also, now that I'm looking at my place, like my place, all the stuff is in the garage. I'm looking at my stuff and I'm like, but now there's great opportunity, because now I can really get to decluttering and like really putting things in place, in the places that they need to be, and toss out and just reform, right? That's what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
It's like this pandemic is nobody likes it. It's catastrophic. It's terrible. People are dying, but there's so much opportunity in it.
Yes.
And for our education system is really reforming it. How do we ensure that all schools, which should already be happening, have water? You know, that it's completely clean all the time. That the education allows for kids to really learn within Apple. You're not overcrowding in schools,
Yeah.
Yes.
which was also a problem in this country,
Yes.
because then you don't really get
You don't get any.
you
I
don't
mean,
get the attention you
that you
really
need, yeah.
require.
Exactly.
So now with social distancing, having to split those grades up, is now at least in a classroom you have like 20, no more. Even in rural schools, and it's not just a private school perk anymore. There's going to be a perk, nationwide perk,
Yeah.
so that you can really get that one-on-one that you truly deserve. It's an opportunity for the state to build more classrooms, to get more teachers, to pay them better. You know, there's really, really great opportunities in this, and I think we have to start looking into it.
I think our country is blessed with a lot of smart people. It's like naturally smart people. I think if we really stepped up our education system, we could be, importing human resources from all around Africa, people who want to come study here and
Yes.
want to, instead of everybody running to South Africa. Maar ons moet iewers begin. Kyk, jy staan en skud sy kop, because you guys are sending your kids to South
No,
Africa. That's why.
I'm reading this comment of this guy on
It's a break.
Alpheus Fikameni Haufiku. Okay, at least you know what. Let me rather read the comment, because if Cubase read the comment, he will just make a smirky remark.
He will
as a
still make a
response.
smirky remark.
Yeah.
What's stopping you?
Morning.
My ears
Stop
already
making
perked up.
jokes on a serious virus, guys. This is now what Alpheus Fikameni Haufiku says. Stephanus James Anania says, please, there's always time for a joke, bruh.
I'm not going to say anything. It's almost stolen.
I also sadly don't. Anyway,
Alpheus, who are you?
They want it somber.
Yeah.
Like
They
the
want
happy
it
birthday
somber.
song, Maria.
play the cue dramatic music.
Yeah. Let's have some drama in it.
Do-do-do-do.
Da-da-da-da, because we're talking about the virus.
Okay, I do get you. So look, Ananias, right?
No.
Andreas.
Something.
Alpheus.
Alpheus. Sorry,
Yes.
I know there was an A. Alpheus, I do agree. Sometimes it's not always a laughing matter, but also how we're not going to cry about this forever. This is our new reality.
Yes.
We're not gonna dwell in misery forever. We're actually looking at opportunities, and yes, and it's okay. We can joke about it here and there.
Like at Amper, I always went Q-based now.
Yes, for you because you are the comedian. This, you see, comedians try to find a sense of humor even in dark times.
Yeah.
So I think Neville would take that comment a little bit
But like you see,
offensively.
this look, even
Kan 'n mens nie vloek op die show nie? Can one swear on the show?
Ek
No,
sal
we
nie
can't.
sê nie.
Okay.
I'm not
Guys,
gonna say
let's not give it
anything.
let's not give it too much
I'm
airtime.
joking.
But even in a serious situation, there is always something.
Come on.
But there is always something happening
It's
that you
our
can
new
find some
reality.
humor in.
That's what it is.
But in any case, let me also start reading
Yeah,
comments.
Let's
Ja,
get to the
asseblief
comments.
toch.
Yes. Landulenia Mutenya, carry your own sanitizer. Really, it isn't that big a deal. But mostly because the sanitizers at some shops or places has been questionable. Ugh.
Nee?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Wat se sanitizer word julle gegee? Okay, this is Honorable Swart Boy. Where did you guys hear that Swart Boy was coming to the studio this morning? I'm just curious.
No, because I see a lot of Swart Boy comments.
Mm.
Guys, we've not confirmed anything.
Yes, we didn't.
Yeah.
Mm.
We're also talking about having Beyonce in the studio, but that's not confirmed either.
Yeah, we're talking to her people.
Our people are still in talks with her people.
Raymond Basson, guys, my first castle light yesterday was awesome. Lamek Konjashili Timotheus, now what happened to the sound? Oh, okay, I don't know. Maybe that's why Shines was busy making
it's
noise
probably
here in the
sorted out in
background.
that
Yeah.
case.
Meneer Dion Bekes, goeiemôre, welkom na die show. Yes, uncle, what do you want to tell me? That is Shaks Diofena Nyemba. I don't know what you said to Shaks Neville. He's asking you. Hey, Brie Clark, good morning, everyone. Just one question. So when will Wildfish Bay be eligible for parole?
When you guys start behaving. When they will consider you for good behavior.
But the 7 days ends when? The announcement was made
It's
last
on the
week, right?
4th. It's ending on the 4th.
Mm.
But it's not, they say there was that disclaimer with the option to extend.
Yes, of course.
And we know now new cases have popped up since that lockdown, that immediate lockdown. So, yeah, I foresee an extension, for sure.
Ek sal vandag my dop gaan koop, sê Eric Adriano Bochter. Mrs. Lishan Kagas, goeiemôre. Welcome, baby girl. Philemon Nawa. Mara, you guys, I think you must teach other presenters on how to be this dope like you guys. That's not fair to say. Come on, man. There are a lot of dope presenters
Yeah,
around
no,
the country.
true. But thanks anyway.
Yes, thanks for
But
the
thanks for
compliment.
assuming we're the dopest.
Yeah, anyway, everybody thinks they're the best, so yeah, we are also the best. Waar ons nou hierso, facts, Shaks. Uncle, do you have anyone who wants to be your neighbor? I have some flats.
What?
Are you advertising? Are you advertising your flats on our show?
What is the question?
It's no question. He's telling you he's got flats to rent.
So, and who's the uncle here?
Jay,
Huh?
like he calls you Uncle Jay Ken Mos.
Second, your side chicks, they need a, they
Yeah,
need
you
to-
know Mos, you're
Side chicks.
you're paying for a couple of kids through their school or their university or whatever. So
Those days are over. Parpay. I'm
COVID-19
retired.
times.
Yeah,
did
it's
you,
COVID times.
come on, did you hear the speech of Honorable Swart Boy?
Which one?
I don't know. I think it was him who was talking in Parliament yesterday when I was listening, and he made a lot of valid points with regards to
Usually
the
does.
budget.
Usually does, I must say.
A lot. Even like the same thing that we touched on, the Ministry of Agriculture getting the smallest budget when it's the one industry that we really should be trying to
Exactly,
ramp
to
up at the
assist.
moment. Yes. But in any case, no, we're not talking about Meneer Swartboy vanoggend. Estomich, morning you all. Maria, I hear you. The best is to have different grades start and finish school in different hours. Also, have breaks different hours. I think there will be infection, but I really hope that there's better quarantine process if students test positive. Schools opening is a start. Countries really need to open a bit, otherwise this virus will paralyze nations.
Yeah.
I think the government there is trying their best, but I applaud you, the nation. You have been really good in assisting the government by adhering to the lockdown curfews. Super proud. Namibian abroad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joshua, Alpheus, just have a bad morning. Humor is needed, Alpheus. That's not me. That comes from Joshua. Okay, Shaks is saying, Maria, you went to go meet who? Hope to meet you soon after I fully recovered.
Who's that?
Fully recovered? That you know COVID?
Yeah.
What are you recovering from? Hi, boy.
Who is that?
Shaks.
Yeah, Shucks. Shucks is making a stronger comeback this week.
He's a problem child. He was, I think, in quarantine because he had gone missing for a while. Maria, your hair is very long.
Who's
From
that?
Simon Amushira. Wallace Dirgat also
I mean,
joined
there's
the show.
irony there. What's his surname?
Amushira.
It's like a tail.
Yes. Omushira.
Shira.
But you know, we also use that word to refer to other things.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
I'm not.
I don't know what
This is
Cube
my issue because sometimes I'm not in tune with like street slang.
Yeah, me too, Maria.
Yeah.
Me too. I don't know what Cubase is talking about.
Neville is lying. You're not going to get me to say things here on the
I
radio.
have
Forget.
no
No,
idea.
you forgot. We still have to talk about his friend on air.
Yes. Guys, we have the
Hey,
tea.
it's 8 minutes past 9.
We have the tea on
We have to
Lazarus
go.
Jacobs, and Neville doesn't want us to tell you.
We have to go because it's 8 minutes past 9. And yeah, there are other things that needs to.
Okay, kom ek lees maar die comments klaar.
But-
Daar is so
yes.
baie oor.
Wie Maria, jy soek stories. Bambulokasi.
Miles Monroe's Harakuta saying, when does Corona go to sleep? Corona doesn't sleep.
Yeah, let's discuss that.
By the way, he's also gonna force us to reform our clubs. I don't think we're gonna this pharaohs is gonna work anymore.
Oh man.
They're probably gonna have like an open club.
Yeah. Like a
Open
big
air.
a warehouse.
Like a warehouse, like
Yes.
but open air probably. You know, play some jol on the grass lawn.
Yeah.
You know.
Party outdoors.
I mean, I'm not completely sad about it.
Maria, I'm sitting here, and you mentioned stuff like that. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, because I'm busy writing. I've spent a lot of time now for the last 2-3 months in writing a show.
Oh yes,
For this
you're
year.
planning something. Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Hopefully the lockdown ends, and maybe by November I can have a fully fledged show. And I'm thinking like, okay, now what if I book the National Theatre? Okay, the capacity of the National Theatre is probably 500.
That means 250 or 200. You can't put more than that.
Yeah, so I have to. Maria will have to sit there,
Yeah.
and then the 2 seats from
Yeah.
Maria.
About 40%
keep that
capacity.
open
Yeah.
here, and even the person at the back of me. There needs to be 2-3 people
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
So it is 250. What you guys? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably maybe you
200 max.
200. Maybe you have double shows. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. So whoever goes to Pharaohs, so there must also now be a cycle if you go to Pharaohs.
Yes, you must book in advance.
You must book in advance.
Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
booking booth number 7 from
I'm
8
booking and I'm
o'clock.
coming with. It's very small. This is what I'm trying.
Yeah.
It's Musasat camera. That's what they call it.
Misha, how many?
That place can fit 10 people max, maybe
Maybe.
20
And it's
with the
packed.
bar people.
But normally, what was the fullest that you've noticed? With
I mean, I
the
didn't
bars?
count. Trust me. But
But there's well over 150.
yes,
200
yes,
people
yes.
in
That small place can, because sometimes you're squeezing to just get to the bar or to get to the toilet. Just squeeze.
But you know we can pack a lot of people into those small spaces when we are drinking.
It's like you're dancing and you're just bumping on people.
Yeah.
But
Honestly, I cannot.
no, no.
I have never been inside Pharaohs. I don't know what it even looks like. I
You're
can't
not
imagine.
missing out on anything.
No, you're not missing out.
Yeah, but that's gonna have to change. So places like Pharaohs, I really don't. Monaco might still because it's got that open area at the back.
Fashion bar.
Fashion bar.
It's a fashion bar still open even.
Bar is
Yeah.
fashion bar.
Transnamib.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Fashion Bar and Pharaoh's, that warehouse, and even London, Club London, that closed, no
Small spaces,
ventilation.
yeah.
Forget.
I haven't been clubbing in a long time, bro.
Forget those places.
I think
It's not old. You're old, you are expired goods. They don't want you there.
Yellow's boring.
You're done.
And your DJs don't entice me. You can tell them
too.
I said it.
And then when it's not the DJ, it's the bouncer.
Yeah, yeah. Your
That is
ballet.
Oh,
like
yeah, no, you got issues with the bounce.
That's acting like a person of my caliber has to beg to get inside a club.
Come on. Can I please come in? Do you know? Come on, you know, if I post a selfie, how many people are gonna rock up here right now?
Like people see me, they're rushing to buy me drinks. You need to be in there so that your bar can make money.
Okay, go and clear my comments. Shaks is saying more cases are arriving today with Air Namibia. So I guess there are more students flying back today. But like that is part of the cause, guys. Like these are Namibian citizens. We can't just leave
Can't
them
deny them access
outside.
to their
Yeah,
own
so
country.
they need to come back home. And unfortunately, the situation is what it is everywhere else in the world. Some of these things cause stigmatization.
Yeah.
It seems it's funny in the moment, but it tends to lead that way.
And might I add, there is a mandatory 14-day quarantine, and
Yes.
I think this is also why a lot of the new cases, I think the past 4 or 5 ones that we've been receiving, have been people in quarantine facilities, because as you get in, you're tested, and as you exit, you tested. So usually after the first testing, they find that they have.
Yo, that big nose is breathing hard into that microphone. It's just. Ons hoor net.
Are you looking at porn?
Yeah.
Looking at porn?
Yes, I'm looking at porn.
Yeah. Okay. Martin Emutoni is saying Swart Boy was not debating on the budget. Instead, he was campaigning. Also, it was him who was talking. Okay. Anyway, he was making some valid points.
There's a comment that people say that they want Swart Boy here.
Yes. Abel Shocks Nepolo. Guys, make a plan. We want to hear the voice of Honorable Swart Boy on this morning mix. I actually wouldn't mind talking to him.
I would love to speak to you.
Yes, I would like
My
to
thing
hear
is
his
just there's only
views.
3 mics. Who's leaving the studio?
I'll stand there.
Laat ek gaan vloek word.
Come on.
This girl. Yeah.
Nee, los Swart Boy, alright.
He would come. It would be an
Let's
interesting.
see.
It wouldn't be. An
Maybe
interesting-
I'm on my best game, and we'll see who.
Let's discuss this after
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah.
See what.
Let's see what we can do for y'all.
All right, guys. I think we're gonna have to bounce now.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys will have to enjoy the rest of your Tuesday
It's
without
really on
us.
public
Or
demand.
Wednesday. What day is today? Wednesday, ne?
Wednesday.
Yes.
Midweek.
Yes.
Hump day.
Hmm.
Mommy's night.
What's on public demand?
Please, I know it's not a Namibian thing, because but please, today is Wednesday. So please go post your woman crush Wednesday. Okay?
Your woman crush.
Wednesday, you know, it's the WCW. Woman crush Wednesday is usually supposed to appreciate your partner
Yes.
or your wife. But
Or the
Namibian
one you are
men, they
Poster.
don't.
No, the
Yeah.
one you are crashing on, Mos. Yeah, I'm not crashing on my wife. My wife, that one is already in the bag. I'm crashing on other people. My senior Mary Howard Slim, never. Come on, woman crush Wednesday. Go post your crush. She just wants to see pictures of herself all over social
not
media
even,
today.
no, it's not even me. It's become literally a joke.
Yeah.
No, it's not even about me. That Namibian men don't really use the WCW, because even if you are dating, even if you've been together for 10 years, you are still a secret. Jy word nie gepost nie.
Yeah. You see, my wife,
Never,
never.
ever post a picture of my wife on social media.
Why?
Never.
Sien jy sulke goed?
No, I
Today you
would.
must appreciate her under
I would post her. I don't have a problem with that.
WCW. And then you must write a nice long essay about how you appreciate raising your children. Yeah.
And this you are supposed to repeat every
Every
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Salmi.
No, I don't mind posting
You guys
my wife.
get Man Crush Monday.
What the hell?
MCM.
So,
MCM.
Monday
on
I'm supposed to
Monday,
crush on a
you
man.
guys get appreciated. But
Oh.
women usually do.
I'll ask my
MCM.
wife to post something about me.
Yes.
But I'm not going to post
MCM.
something about her.
It's a two-way street.
No, exactly.
I understand. I completely understand Neville's dilemma. Hy wil nie iets gaan sê op Facebook dat kom comment iemand met 'n screenshot.
Chicken. Hello.
It's like
So since when?
yeah.
It's like when you're having drama, people find those posts from 2015 Facebook.
Yes.
Donkey. Thank you. Thank
like
you.
unfortunate, like it was even the woman that was shot by her husband 6 times
Yeah.
by the sea. What's his name? No, I need to say it on air.
Gertze.
Gerse. What's his full name?
Frans Gertze.
Frans Gertze, yes.
Frans Gerse, that shot his wife 6 times.
Yeah.
Okay, this is not allegedly.
Allegedly.
No, he didn't allegedly shoot his wife. He shot his wife.
Okay.
I think during that time, they went back to
Old posts
all posts.
on social media.
Yeah, and also, they're also trying to piece together the puzzle, like
Yeah.
when did the problem start?
Yeah.
But then there are also those appreciation.
Yeah.
So yeah, social media, it's
Yeah, and I'm sorry to touch on that,
Yeah.
but I've seen a lot of those postings of them on social media, and it's something that I cringe when people post stuff about their relationships on social media. Maria, I love you so much, and happy birthday.
Yeah.
You are my everything.
seems like you're doing it for social validation.
Yeah, for social validation, and then if somehow I have to at gunpoint tell you that you also need to post something about me, and then stuff goes wrong. You know, Josie. What's Josie's surname?
Which Josie?
Josie. She's also on social media. I've been hosting a few events with her.
There are a lot of Josies on.
I'll get-
Josie that used to do radio.
Yes,
Yes, I forgot her
Josie
surname.
is
Yes,
such
yeah.
a funny woman.
Yes,
She's so funny.
very much.
And there was this voice clip that she made about 2 years ago. And this thing was going viral. Somebody's relationship also went bust. And this person asked for privacy. Hey, my bro, Josie. Yeah, you made us part of this relationship
Yeah.
on social media
Now
all
you
the
want-
time.
Yes.
Now we also want to hear the end of the story. And it was so funny. And it's one of those reasons, because I don't always believe in, I know there's a spiritual world out there, but I don't want people to hate on me or my wife and stuff like that. I don't want people to look at my jaloersheid and envy and rebuke and spit on my family.
But
I'm
why?
not posting nothing about my family.
Do you
on social
rebuke other people's posts?
No, I don't, because
No, but it's just
I
saying some
have
people
no,
don't come with good
Yeah.
energy.
yeah, the energy that people sometimes have. Because sometimes, Maria, I would never post something on social media if it has no comedy or humor value to it.
Yeah, for me, I think it's just certain things. Like, for example, let's say it's your mother's birthday.
Yeah.
Your mother's not on Instagram. And you take a picture of her and you write all these beautiful words that you've never said to her. And she's not going to see them because she's not on this platform. And then you do that. So you put her picture on Instagram and you give her like roaring, beautiful
Yes.
accolades about the best
And-
mother and I love you and what you've done for me. And then it ends there. You don't call your mother to say happy birthday. You don't utter the same words to your mother. You know she's not on Instagram. So it's like, what are you doing? You're doing it for validation. You're not doing it because you're trying, because I feel like if it's your mother's birthday, you should be able to pick up a phone if
Thank
she's
you.
not around you and say those same sweet words
Yes.
that you want the
No,
world
no,
to
no.
see you saying, you know? Yeah,
But-
so it's social media is tricky like that.
You're expecting us to go tell your mother all these fine things that you have to say about her. You guys, what are you sharing there? I also want.
So you have conversations with him on the side.
No, I don't know. He just, what happened?
Me, I'm not going to entertain this.
All right. Anyway, it's our time.
Yes, it's not being entertained. You see, now there are even more comments. He's saying Neville won't post his wife because he doesn't want to hurt his side chicks.
That's the
Yeah, also.
Josing Gipani.
nobody needs to get hurt.
Yes. Kom maar, kom ons bly net almal nassa.
Now your side chick is giving you, yeah, but
Yeah, but you're
a
posting
woman
your life.
crash Wednesday. No, go to your woman crash Wednesday.
I would post a picture of my wife on my personal profile, not on my social media profile, but on my phone.
Yeah.
Online. Yeah, that's it. So those people who know me, they will see the
Yeah, yeah.
picture, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I'm not sharing nothing about my personal life on social media.
Nah, I don't mind showing all of them off. I'm not gonna be bombarding you with pictures every day, but every
Yeah.
now and then there's a moment that I feel stands out, and for me,
Like what?
I've noticed. You know, the one thing I've realized, right? Social media, especially Facebook. Facebook is brilliant at storing my pictures for me because I lose the phone and I lose the computer and
You
I
can
lose
always
this,
retrieve them.
Oh,
and I always go find them there.
Yeah.
So some of the stuff you post there because you want to have access to it, but unfortunately, also so do other people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I don't post my
Yes.
children on social media. at
What
all.
would you post, for instance? Like you.
A picture of me and my kids, me and my son, me
So
and my daughter.
you do post them.
Yeah, I would, not a lot. There are a few, but then I don't really post much on social media anyway. These days when I'm there, I'm mostly just trolling people. I'm just going around causing
Stalking.
havoc.
Oh, trolling.
Yes.
So you're a troller. Now we know who to avoid.
I might as well put my intellect to good use. All right, guys,
Thanks,
we're out of
guys.
here. We'll see you again tomorrow. Don't forget between 12 and 1, meneer Kaufman. Hy het sy lekker bier gedrink gister. En dat nou is it from a... I don't even know. You see the bottle store, they come was in those black plastic bags. We went in together, but I have no idea what he bought. All I know is he came out with the black plastic bag. Yeah, you can join them between 12 and 1 on the hour here on Informante Radio.
What is there a comment there?
No, I was thinking about what you're saying here. Maar ik ga vrijdag. I'm going on Friday.
Want toe.
Mekaranda stoka anje man.
Barça Mallorca next week Saturday.
Nee, you'll have a beer.
Bieruur.
Okay. What is that thing that you wanted?
Moscato.
Mascado.
Sal je van me krijgen?
I need to Google this.
Red Moscato.
All right,
Sharp.
Cheers, we out.
We're out.